Episode 1, stories to introduce each other. Josiah is my brother and co-host. Say hello.
Hello.
Josiah and I have spent a ton of time together growing up. Had a lot of fun, a lot of arguments, and had some misunderstandings. Yeah?
I can't think of any.
To this day, Josiah, I'm guessing, will still tell people that I have intentionally, when we were probably 10 and 8, snapped a rubber band to the left of your eye.
That was intentional.
Well,
and everybody knows it.
Yeah.
And you did get the repercussions for it being intentional.
But it wasn't intentional. Really, truthfully, I was just trying to make a rubber band cannon, and you were collateral damage. But truthfully, ultimately, you can't say I didn't leave a mark on your life.
That is very true.
Shout out to my wife, Bailey, for that joke.
She came up with that?
Yeah, she came up with that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very good.
That's fantastic.
Very dad of her.
Yeah, very dad.
Yeah. One of the things that marked you growing up, I think, was that you were incredibly intentional about what you valued. And here's some examples.
Okay, let's hear them.
You value saving. Would you say would you agree with that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. You're a natural saver. I wouldn't say that you're necessarily stingy, just frugal, which there's a fine line between the two.
Thank you. I feel like a lot of people in my life would say I'm actually stingy.
Yeah, probably. But this became super apparent to me when I was probably about 7 years old, and I had set up a home store with a bunch of little knickknacks to try to make a little bit of profit off of my siblings, okay? And it was just a side hustle to try to make up for my natural tendency
just pay
to
the bills,
spend.
honestly.
Yeah, I'm just trying to pay the bills, okay? So, but unfortunately, I found out that you were shockingly frugal for a 5-year-old. Ultimately, it took very little time for my business to go under because sales were so low.
Zero, I think.
I had to close down the shop by lunchtime.
Yeah, same day. That's pretty bad for a new business.
Yeah, but it did strike me how intentionally you valued certain things, and clearly you didn't value what I was trying to sell.
Didn't you try to talk me into buying a banana or something? I said, why would I buy a banana when I can go into the kitchen and get a banana?
I don't remember the banana, but there's a decent chance.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
So the frugality, I remember, did not end there at all. Growing up, our house had hardwood floors, and I remember doing quite a bit of sliding across those hardwood floors with our socks, which resulted in a lot of our socks having massive holes in them, and our poor mother just darning those socks like it was her full-time job.
Darning them?
Darning them. That's an actual word.
What does it mean?
It means just like sewing them up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, she just looked at the socks and like, oh,
dang,
darn
darn
those
it.
socks. I mean,
Darn
she
it.
probably did too.
Probably. But when I hit college and graduated, got a job, and actually started to work, I realized I could just buy socks whenever I want because I'm an adult and I have money now.
Yeah. I think you also thought that about Pop-Tarts.
I can just,
And
there's
chocolate
certain
milk.
things. Yeah, there's certain things that are just worth extra cash. You didn't see it that way. I think you probably have holes in your socks right now, potentially.
I actually don't. I don't think. No, but a couple days ago I did.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
But I mean, you probably saw keeping your socks with holes in them as a way to save money for, your greenhouse business.
100%.
Yeah.
And I still do.
Yeah.
I'm more intentional about the days that I wear holy socks though. So I do think through my day. I'm like, oh,
I'm going
I have
see
to go
people.
into so-and-so's house, take my shoes off. It's not Holy Sock Day.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear one of my 2 pairs.
A couple more
non-holy
pairs
socks.
than 2.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it depends on if you decide to raid Isabel's drawers or not.
I have I was about to say I've never worn socks. Maybe one time.
There was a pause there. But hey, you're intentional about what you value.
Yeah.
Josiah's frugality, again, can be seen in his driving. If you've ever ridden with him in the car, you certainly know that because I've been reminded many, many times slow acceleration is the key to fuel efficiency.
Yeah.
Which I don't disagree with, but it starts to feel like he doesn't trust me if I'm driving his car. But Josiah accelerates basically like he has just a bunch of cupcakes in the back of his car, just like they're just ready to topple at a moment's notice.
I mean, in my opinion, you always got to practice for situations in life.
Yeah.
And that is one of those that, I mean, when people get put in that position, they always fail.
Yeah.
But I won't.
Yeah. I've also noticed that you tend to, when you're coming up to a stop sign or a stoplight, you start to coast maybe half a mile down the road.
Probably 3/4 actually.
Maybe.
And if I'm hauling something, probably a mile and a half.
I mean, you got the momentum. But the point is then you don't have to, replace your rotors and your brakes as frequently.
Yeah. It does seem to help.
Yeah. But I know that this got so bad that at one point you actually got pulled over and received a ticket for a rolling stop.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm sure we'll talk about that story at another time on this podcast.
Another story for another day.
Yeah. But hey, you're intentional about what you value, even if that means getting a ticket. So then something that I noticed is that when we grew up, we went to college, normal life stuff happened. Friends went through challenges and experienced breakups and everything. And I found out pretty frequently that they were comforted by you before I even knew what had happened, which was, kind of blew my mind. It was great, but also a bit infuriating because I was like, does he just call people every day just to see how they're doing? It's like, I can't keep up like this, and it's just infuriating to realize that your little brother is many times a better friend than you are. But hey, you're intentional about what you value.
Oh, I appreciate that.
So fast forward a few years and Josiah starts dating his now wife, Isabel. We knew Isabel was special because of one thing. Josiah started to spend some money.
That is true.
He paid for way fancier dinners than I've ever paid for.
What? Come on.
Yeah, no,
really?
I'm dead serious.
Do you have one? Do you have an example?
Well, you talked about times that you guys have gone out to like Cameron Mitchell's, I feel like. I've never been to a restaurant like that.
Never?
No.
Oh, okay. I mean, one time.
Okay. Well, still.
Yeah.
It's more than me. Cheesecake Factory. Here.
Never been at the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, yeah.
As well.
I've taken Bailey to the Cheesecake Factory a bunch of times.
See, I mean, that's pretty fancy.
It's not. It's Midwest fancy. But anyways.
Isn't Midwest fancy Applebee's, though?
Applebee's is, for sure, Midwest fancy.
Just saying, like, based off
based off the song.
Yeah.
Certainly. And I also know that you took Isabel to see her very own Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. You paid for the tickets. You probably had some holy socks on at the time.
I don't remember that, but yeah.
And when you told me that you were going to propose, I was like, okay, so you're going to like give her a ring pop or something? Because that seems kind of on brand. I wasn't honestly that surprised that you decided to go with a diamond, but I did think that you were going to consider the ring pop for a moment longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're like 62 cents at Kroger.
Yeah.
So But
Very viable option.
yeah,
I decided to go a different route, but yeah.
yeah. But now you're married,
Mm-hmm.
and it's genuinely been so fun to see how your values have been manifested in your daily life. I mean, it's clear you love and care for Isabel. I'm kind of going back and forth between talking to you and talking to the audience. It's clear that you love and care for Isabel. It's very clear that you care and love.
Caleb just got blinders on. He won't look at me during like half of this.
Yeah.
It's very awkward.
It's clear that you love your nephew Oliver. Shout out to my son, my 1-year-old. And
One
it's
and a half year
clear,
old.
yeah, 1.5-year-old. And it's clear that you love and care for the people around you. Your family, your friends, your church and community that you serve through the nursery business. So, yeah. That's Josiah. That's my brother.
Dang.
Pretty stoked to be making this podcast with you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. That was so very nice of you. And is going to make me feel really bad for what I've prepared because I didn't go nearly as in depth or like nice stories. But I did get some funny things.
All right. Well, hey,
I think.
In your defense, I was pretty much using a lot of my best man speech.
No.
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember it, but
I mean, that day was a blur, so pretty much not at all. But
yeah, fair enough.
I do remember it was good.
Thanks.
I remember as you were giving the speech, I was like, "Oh no, he's pointing out all my little things. Everybody knows. But the funniest thing though was, let's see, it was the fair last year when we were bidding on animals, and like I tried to buy an animal with the business at the fair, and we were trying to get you in on bidding on the reserve champion or something, and we were like, come on, it's just like $100 or whatever. And you're like, oh, I don't know, maybe not. And then Mr. Kleiline was like, now, I remember something from your speech, Caleb, about Josiah being frugal, but
you being the spender.
yeah, you being the spender, and here you won't chip in. I was like, thank you, Larry. Oh, yeah, it was a great moment. I appreciated that.
Yeah, I did get suckered into that.
Yeah,
which it was fun supporting.
Oh, it was always fun.
Yeah.
So let me see. What were the stories I had to share? I mean, for sure, we know you're a godly man. I'll start off with that.
Thank you.
I don't have any great stories revolving around that, at least at the moment.
Yeah.
But that's one of the first things I would point out about you. You're a family man. We'll kind of get into that in one of my stories.
Okay.
One of the things I'll point out is you decide to go after something and you go freaking all in. You do not tip. You do not like dip your little toe in. You're like, we are doing this.
Yeah. You know what? You know why? Is because I hate the idea of starting stuff and not finishing it. I hate that.
Yeah.
I just like if I'm gonna try like this podcast, I'm all in.
Yeah.
And I don't want. Yeah. I don't
I mean,
want.
we're gonna be all in.
Oh,
100 episodes in with our 5 listeners, one of which being our mom, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We are gonna
we
be
are all in.
Yeah.
We're gonna monetize that relationship as much as possible.
Shoot, so much. But anyways, yeah. So that is one thing I've always appreciated about you is you go all in. One of those examples would be your YouTube channel. I mean, you started that thing, how many years ago?
4.5.
4.5 years ago. And you've just been so consistent with that. It's been very impressive. But one story I have in that regard is one night we're laying in bed.
This is a throwback.
It is a throwback.
Because we grew up sleeping in the same room. So
Yes, we grew up in the same room. At this time, we rearranged our room several times, but at this time, our headboards were like together.
Yeah.
So like we were facing opposite directions in the room, but our headboards were together. And as I remember it, we would like, it's not like we'd talk a whole lot before going to bed, but as we were lying down, and we might strike up a little conversation or something. I'm trying to remember how old. You're probably 20, maybe.
Okay.
So I would have been a couple, maybe 18.
Yeah.
No. No. You're
I was still living at home at 20.
18 or 19. I don't remember. Doesn't matter a whole lot on the age. Once I tell you the story, you'll probably know how old you were. So we're lying in bed, and I'm actually just about out. I'm almost there, and I hear you whisper, Josiah. I was like, what? And kind of came to, and you're like, can I tell you something? I was like, yeah, what? He's like, I'm going to go out on a date with Bailey tomorrow.
Did I not tell you until the day before?
No,
Oh
no,
my
you
gosh.
didn't. You didn't. And I mean, that is the last thing I can hear right before going to sleep and then have a good night's rest. I mean, you've like, apparently that was on your chest for forever because you're like, okay,
I should really
good
tell.
night. And then like you're out. You go to sleep. And then I'm just thinking about this for probably the next hour, just lying in bed. But yeah. So yeah, that's one of the examples I could think of is
Okay.
when you lock in on something, you go all in.
Yeah.
And even if you didn't tell your brother right away, you eventually got him there.
Yeah.
And then you went all into your relationship with Bailey.
Yeah.
And
hey,
you know, the rest
now
is
we're
history.
Yeah.
Now you have a kid. So I'd say things are going well.
Yeah. Married and with a kid.
Yeah. Let's see. Another set of stories here would be just how you try to encounter life through a funny lens, which is another thing I really appreciate. You try to turn very ordinary things funny. And one of those examples is, I forgot one of the stories I was going to tell. One of those stories was when you guys announced you were pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
So let's see. It was like a Thursday. It's like a Thursday evening. Well, you'd prepared this probably on Sunday or something. Our family, our extended family. Well, I say extended family. Our immediate family, which is now becoming extended family, as you have Oliver. We normally get together Sunday after church, and I think on that Sunday, you and Bailey had asked all the rest of us, "Hey, do you guys want to come over for supper on Thursday?" Very random, very random. But you weren't acting weird about it, and I think maybe we weren't going to be able to have Sunday brunch that next week or something. So that may have been the reason that it didn't seem super peculiar to us or something. But I do remember going into it like, oh, wow, it's so weird to like just come over to Kim Bailey's house on a Thursday evening. They have supper for us. Like they're not asking anybody to like pitch in food or anything. And then after we eat, Kim's like, let's play, what's that game?
Charades.
Let's play charades. I wouldn't say you're against games ever, but it was very confusing. Like Caleb's like all in on the charades thing, which as I said, he's all in. And sometimes when he decides something, even if it's weird, you're like, oh, well, Caleb's decided that. So we were all just like, yeah, sure. Let's play charades, whatever. So we had it on the app where it like the person could see on their phone what they were supposed to act. So we go through several iterations of it, and I think it was the girls versus the guys. So you, me, and Dad, and then all the girls. And I'll mention the names: Adley, Bailey, and my mom. Anyways, so it gets.
Isabel wasn't a part of it yet.
Yeah, Isabel was not there. Though I was going out with her.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we get to you, and you go up there. Now, in hindsight, I know that you didn't pay attention to what was on your phone because you needed to act a certain thing. So you get up there and you start acting like you're walking with like a hobble, and you got this cane, and we're like, old guy, I don't remember.
Old people.
Old people.
Nursing home.
Yeah. Like we were just going through all the options we could think of. And I also think you pointed at my dad. You pointed at my dad and then you started acting old.
Yeah.
And we were like, what the heck? And then like it was going on unbearably long. Like you
so
were
long.
not
I
giving
could
us
not-
any other clues at all.
I was pointing to you to mom and dad, both of them.
Oh, both of them.
Yeah,
Okay.
because they were sitting right next to each other, and I'm just like trying to indicate grandparents.
Yeah, I mean, we were like, come on, give us something else. Give us something else. You were probably doing that same like hobbling thing. It felt like 30
Yeah,
seconds.
I couldn't think of anything
which
else
we were
to
like,
do.
what are you doing? Give us something else. And then eventually you finally give up on that. And then you point to Bailey. And we're like, oh, okay, new clue. You point to Bailey. And then you start your hands like midway on your chest. And then you like go down like big
Around.
lump. And we're like, pregnant. Wait, Bailey, pregnant.
That was so fun.
So yeah, that was just a very I can't say becoming pregnant is an ordinary life thing, but you made that very fun for us, and that was just so exciting. Another example I have of you making ordinary things fun is your card writing.
My card writing.
You don't even know what I'm talking about.
Specifically, are you referring?
Whenever you write a card to
Oh yeah. Oh, like a birthday card or something.
yeah. Oh, and I got some examples here. Oh
my gosh, you actually kept them?
Well, none of these are to me actually.
Oh,
These are
okay.
all to the rents.
Okay.
So
Well,
they've
this is gonna be
saved
fun.
them. They've saved them.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna read a couple
man.
cards here. They're pretty funny. So this one has a couple coffee cups drawn on the front, and it says, "Imagine free Tim Hortons for the rest of your life." This is written to my mom. She loves Tim Hortons. And then you open it, and it says, "Okay, hard to imagine, but it's even harder to imagine not being on the line for cooking a meal for the family. Now, imagine that meal being at the original Pancake House for Mother's Day, asterisk." At the bottom, there's an asterisk that says, "Not on Mother's Day," because we knew that we weren't going to be able to go on Mother's Day because I was working. It says, "Where you can choose any meal you want," double asterisk. At the double asterisk, it says, "under $5.99. It says, well, we kids are taking out the whole family to show you how much we love you and appreciate all the free meals you've made us. We love you." Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I missed. You can even get coffee. And that one says small drip coffee.
Oh man, I forgot about that card.
That's a good one. I don't know what this was for, but I've got a random certificate of pophood that you gifted Dad. It says family will probably all participate in a trip to what does that say?
It's feeling JBSP.
I don't actually know what that one is.
Ooh, to hike, then go to Young's. Oh, it's a state park. Anyways,
Yeah.
To hike and then go to Young's Dairy for ice cream and putt-putt.
Yeah. But you like went to all the work of making it look like an actual certificate.
Yeah.
And then at the bottom it says camping and goals optional. Here's another one to my mom. On this Mother's Day, your gift is us naming off personal characteristics. You are caring. And then you keep on opening.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about this card. This one is very
that's pretty good.
intricate.
Yeah. Caring. Genuine. Humble. Keep on opening. Sunscreen slatherer. Power walker, with a little drawing that says 57 miles before 8 a.m. Not bad. Keep on opening here. Got to be careful with this. Avid reader. 2 people on this one. One says, "Oh, that was a good book. Just finished it." "What? You haven't even read it yet, and that's my book. This says frugal egg yolk scraping professional, which if we're talking about me being frugal, at least I got honestly, because my mom, I mean, she will crack an egg and then use her finger
just to
and
wipe out
all the yolk
egg yolk,
from
which,
each side.
in her defense, now
Eggs are expensive.
eggs are very expensive.
Yeah. Below that says hopeful bunt cake maker.
Ooh,
Dang it!
we got some stories about
yeah,
bunt cakes.
We'll leave that one for a different day, I think. And then keep opening here. It says unbefreaking-leavable cook. You're a good cooker, mama. That says. Tim Hortons lover. Keep on opening. And by the way, this card keeps on getting smaller as I'm opening. Like, it's smaller writing. It says weird dream dreamer. That's maybe another story for another
we got
day.
some stories about that too.
Generous, except with Tim Hortons ice caps. Loving, and it's getting real small at this point. And then in the very center, so tiny writing, it says, all these traits folded up into one person makes for a one heck of a mom with good eyesight. Happy Mother's Day.
The best part about that, I remember, is that she actually had to pull out her glasses.
She had to pull out her glasses to read the last part.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
You're like, oh, whoops. Let's see what the next one here is. I didn't read all these because I didn't have time. But for your, so this looks like somebody's birthday card. I think it's to my mom. No, it's actually my dad. For your 62nd birthday, we got you something even more useful than a tiny social security check. You're getting a multi-tool fire grate. And then you open it, and it's just like a bunch of cartoon drawings. Useful for a cozy fire. Somebody's sitting by a fire. Aw, check this out. Pyro Patty.
Our nickname for our mom is Pyro Patty.
One of the nicknames.
One of many.
An indoor cookout. Somebody's sticking all these sticks into the fireplace. Come get your hot dogs. Belated fireworks. There's fireworks that are coming out of this house, out of the house chimney, and there's like this little fire truck that's coming down the road. Woo woo woo. Is the next one. Even a makeshift cradle. There's a baby sitting in the fireplace. Great. No fire in it. And then it says, hope he's not too warm. Hope he's not too warm in that. Whoa, warm in that swaddle. Yeah. Good night, Ollie. And then Oliver, he's thinking because he can't say, I look like a bug, Grandpa. One thing for sure, it'll be used for lots of family time. Happy birthday from our family to yours. It's a good one. What else do we got here? Should I quit or keep reading?
Oh, yeah.
Keep reading? Okay.
This is your part.
Okay, well, I'm going to keep reading then. The first rule of your birthday, and day is kind of smudging out, like you can't even read it. And then he put a little note in, said, the pen retired from work mid-card. And then it says, new pen is to treat this card like it just turned 61 too. That is, handle it very carefully. And it says, whoops, an engineer wrote this card. With the little carrot over the LY.
Oh, yeah.
And then you open it, it says, because it has a real tree inside. Well, we wanted to get you a grown tree, but what with inflation and lumber prices, we could only afford a tree that you could grow yourself. I mean, you're a farmer, and homegrown is more fun anyways, right? Happy birthday! And then there's a little drawn picture with my dad. It says, I'm a farmer. And this tree says, cherry tree in the winter of 2026.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
We got the last one here. I don't know who this is to. It says, you're probably looking at this golf. Oh, this would be my dad. You're probably looking at this golf ball and thinking, two things. This looks a lot like a golf ball picked up from a pasture field. Why would I need a golf ball? I'm no Tiger Woods. You're right. But you sure make a heck of a great dad. This golf ball is a 3D gift certificate for a trip to Topgolf.
Oh, yeah. That was a good time.
Hopefully we did that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is just from you and Bailey.
Yeah.
You guys did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did not include me.
Yeah.
That's fine. Not too bitter. Oh, let's see. Something on the back. This card is gluten-free.
Wow, I didn't realize that they kept all those cards.
Oh my gosh. And then he tried to make like a little card brand.
Uh-huh.
It says Last Minute Cards Incorporated, in quotes. No guarantees, but it's better than nothing.
Oh my gosh.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, I didn't have as many like life stories, but that's what I came up with.
That's cool. That's cool. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so as we wrap this up, we're going to have what I would like to do is I would like to have audience members send us stories that they have.
So my
okay.
mom,
Yeah.
our mom, we do share a mom.
Yes. We are biological brothers, even though Josiah has
Oh, careful.
darker hair and a
little bit more
tans more better
pigment
than
in
me.
his skin.
He tans better than me. Anywho,
It would help to get out from your computer, but I mean,
yeah.
anyways, go ahead.
Anywho, so if you're listening to this and you have a good story to share, send it to us, or just comment below the podcast. And
Oh, so we might just like read somebody's story if it's really good or something, or what?
Yeah.
Nice, I like that idea.
Yeah, for sure, because we want to get people engaged in
Oh,
this. The second thing is we're also going to read off a comment.
Okay, what do we read right now?
We didn't talk about this at all.
Okay.
I'm going to read a comment from our mutual friend Isaac. We have nothing to comment on at the moment, so he just gave me a comment. And the comment is,
Okay.
A podcast from these two is either going to be downright funny or straight up bomb.
Which, I mean, to be honest, I mean, in our day and age, he pretty much gave no option other than it being great.
Or not.
No.
Oh.
Sorry, read that again?
He said, a podcast from these two is either going to be downright funny or straight up bomb.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people with these days, well, I don't know, maybe it's a term going out, but I mean, they might like bite into a sandwich and be like, oh, dude, that sandwich is bomb. So he kind of said like,
Yeah.
our podcast is going to be great.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. That's not what he meant.
But that is what he said.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but that's not what he meant. So anyways, thanks,
Let's
Isaac, for your vote of confidence.
Let's look less at the intent and more at just
but
straight
we
out.
both know Isaac.
Yeah, he definitely didn't
All
mean
right,
it
well,
like that.
anyways, he'll be on the podcast at some point. So thank you for listening to episode 1 of Story Traders.
Story Traders.